Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Izuku Didn't Take Shit From No One? Now, before I go into any further about this is going to be a one-shot series, or probably, if I don't get tired and I go to sleep. But really, it's supposed to be a one-shot series. Also, the original of this title was not, well, the title of this, it was supposed to be like, what if Deku wasn't a little bitch? Because if you really want to go into serious detail, Izuku, what he could have done to Bakugo when Bakugo keep exploding him, he could have pulled out the 9 and shot his ass. Okay, done. The series is ended. God, why is Izuku a little bitch about half the things? Like, nah. If how the fuck are you supposed to be the #1 hero when you fucking cry half the fucking time? Bitch, you have the strongest quirk. Fucking fight. You could have became the strongest, and you could have easily defeated Shigaraki. Just kill Shigaraki and the series ended. Why the fuck are you trying to save him? Nah, okay, I'm getting on a little freaking sidetrack with that. But I'm being serious. Like, shut the fuck up with Izuku. Like, I don't like Izuku's character that much. Like, if Izuku's character was something else instead of him being a little bitch about half the things, then I would have liked it. I don't like Izuku that much, so yeah. Probably the only good characters I like in My Hero Academia are probably the villains, but yeah. It killed them all. But yeah, you just got the murder and all. But I'm serious. Okay, let me go into the what if. So, let me explain what Izuku's abilities are and what his quirk is going to be. So, Izuku, he is just going to be born. Of course, when he is born, Inko was like, my baby boy, blah, blah. Hiyashi's like, yeah, oh shit, I have a kid. Inko, I'm gonna need to go get the milk. I'll be real back here, okay? Let me say that again. He said, I'll be right back. He never came back. So yeah, after Izuku was born, he actually dipped on, Inko and Izuku. Of course, Izuku's first words were, gun. Full on gun. Like, G-U-N-N. So yeah, he was like, gun. Well, not N-N. N, just one N. I meant to say S, but yeah. Of course, Inko was like, I see. Not dad, not mom, like gun. But yeah, Izuku, he is, his quirk is gonna be guns. G-U-N-S. Now, of course, he can create any guns from anywhere in his body. Like any gun he ever used or had seen or anything. Like a sniper rifle, RPG. Definitely not a tank. That would take way too fucking long. But yeah. So okay. He can create matter out of his body, and also he can if he has like matter like right in front of him or anything, he can touch like the matter that like the mass or matter, whatever the fuck it's called, that's like in front of him, like it's a block. He can transform that block into a tank or something like that. So that is his quirk. So that's how it has effective quirks. Now, of course, this quirk cannot be taken, cannot be erased, because it's a fucking gun. You can't just erase a gun. Aizawa trying to erase his gun quirk, gets shot in the fucking leg or something. Yeah, it cannot be erased. And also, it can't be taken, because how the fuck are you supposed to take a gun from someone from, like, just grabbing them from the head? Yeah, no, not happening. So, we go into Izuku. Izuku, of course, he went to the quirk doctor. The quirk doctor said he does not have a quirk because the quirk doctor tried to take Izuku's quirk but could not. And Izuku, what he did is like kicked him in the fucking where the sun doesn't shine, okay? Because Izuku over here, he doesn't give a fuck. Like when it was the what's it called, pre-whatever school, whatever, when he was like 3, whatever, he was like never the one to ever talk to anyone. So when Bakugo tried to like talk to him, because Bakugo was nice back then, Izuku gave never a flying fuck about him. So, let me say that again. He never gave a flying fuck about anyone. So yeah. So of course when the doctor tries to like grab his quirk or whatever, And of course, he did touch Izuku in the head. This is where Izuku got his instinct to just kick him right in the ground. This is where the doctor go. So of course, after Izuku kicking him right in the ground, this is where the guy says, Miss Inko, your son doesn't have a quirk, but he's a little, very, very, mean kid." This is where Inko says, "Nah, Izuku right here is very nice." Izuku's face is never happy. He is emotionless, okay? So Izuku does not give a fuck. Also, those freckles on his face, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of those, and yeah. Now, he doesn't give a fuck about anything. He's dead ass doesn't give a fuck about anything, okay? So, of course, as a dad, you can think of this like, what if Izuku had Black Force energy, or whatever the fuck it's called. What is it like that? Black Force energy. But Izuku does have a quirk named the guns. Now, of course, after Izuku going back to his house, he did get bullied next day about him having no quirk. And of course, like multiple of like the kids, either a guy or girl, whatever. And Bakugo tried to like bully Izuku. Izuku got the instinct just to punch what's called Bakugo in the face. So yeah, Izuku gave no flying fucks. Like, fuck you, I don't need a fucking quirk. My hand's all I need. So of course Bakugo did try to like explode at Izuku, but of course, you know, those are only they are only firecrackers, and they barely even hurt Izuku. Izuku punched Bakugo again in the face and say, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." Of course, this is where Izuku got in trouble, and of course Inko was the one to go and have to see what Izuku's trying to fight other kids. So of course, Inko thought that Izuku was not a fighter. Turns out that even though Izuku has no quirk, he gives no flying fucks about anyone else. He doesn't bow down to those who have quirks. He fucks up those people who have quirks. So, of course, we go into a time skip of when Izuku is about 10 years old. Now, Izuku, he still doesn't give a flying fuck about anyone. Except for his mom. He does love his mom and all that. But, of course, since his mom has to work into 3 jobs, because he actually dipped on him and all that. This is where Inko has to live with her parents, so her father and her mother. Of course, this is where Inko's father, basically Izuku's grandfather, was like, "Ho ho ho, daughter, I'm gonna be taking Izuku to the firing range." This is where Inko says, "Dad, I don't think that's a great idea. No worry, I gotta teach him how to defend himself when he's older." So Izuku's 10 years old, but of course he kind of likes his grandfather. Because his grandfather did kind of use like multiple guns right in front of him. Izuku was never affected. He didn't get scared or anything. He was just impressed with his grandfather's aim. So when they went to the firing range, this is where, his grandfather pulls out like a 9, what was it, M9? No, not an M9, what I'm talking about. Nah, just full on gives him a Desert Eagle. Just decide to give Izuku a Desert Eagle to see if he can really hold like the impact of the shot and all that. Just to see, because Izuku is kind of dead and, kind of looks like he's dead inside, because he never smiles, he never nothing like that. Unless it's him or his family. But he wants to see how good Izuku's aim, just because, even though Izuku's like 10 years old. So, of course, this is where his grandfather says, "Okay, you just gotta aim at the red dot." This is where Izuku, well, not the red dot. It was mostly like those, where it has the head and the target, blah, 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 however many points. This is where Izuku aims for the head every time. Pa, pa, pa. He only uses one hand to shoot at, the 3 targets. Hits all of them in a bullseye. Bullseye. So, of course, with that happening, his grandfather says, "Very impressive, Izuku, very impressive. But let me show you how I do it for real." So he decides to pull out what's it called, a Desert Eagle and all that, another Desert Eagle. But his Desert Eagle color of gun and all, Izuku's color was just a normal like black. but his grandfather has a gold and silver with black. So, of course, Izuku was like, whoa. He was kind of amazed of the gun color and all that. And this is where his grandfather, you like it? It looks pretty damn nice. It took me a lot of money to actually get this. Your grandmother hated it, okay? The fact that she hated me getting the guns, but, protecting my family is what number one priority or that. Whatever you'd like to say the word. Of course, this is where Izuku nods, and this is where his grandfather, shoots 3 bullets at the same target. Shoots another one at, the heart of one of the targets. But it's like, how should I say? Not at the heart of the targets, like the ones that he shot at, but one that was one of the targets that was supposed to be for snipers only. He shot at it at the heart, and Izuku was amazed. So Izuku was amazed with the fact that his grandfather just fucking sniped that shit with just a desert eagle and all that. Now, of course, the target was about, I'm gonna say 100 meters. So yeah, because it's supposed to be for sniper rifle only. I mean, you can do with the normal gun. It's just some people just say sniper rifles are better, but yeah, this is where his grandfather just, just like puts it back on his pouch and all that. Think of it like a cowboy when they shoot at, there's smoke, they blow on the gun and all. And of course, they spin it, they put it back in the pouch. That's what his grandfather did. Now, of course, his grandfather teach him about different other guns, like an M16, a burst gun, a RPG. So, an RPG, they had to do that outside the firing range. So, outside the firing range in another part of the firing range. So, another place that's somewhat of a desert place. Not really a desert, but yeah, it's just somewhere that doesn't have cities and all that, or much of it. Now, I should mention something. Where Inko's parents kind of live, they live in somewhat of a farm range, a farm range place and all that. So not many cities or anything that are in this place. So Izuku's school is pretty far from this place. So yeah. Now Izuku is over here just he gets the RPG. Of course, he ain't that strong enough. So this is where his grandfather telling him, okay, you gotta aim at this target and all that. And when Izuku shoots at it, he gets almost blown away because he ain't that strong yet. But of course, when feeling the impact, he was amazed when he shot at it and it exploded at something. He was like, wow. So, of course, even though I said Izuku's dead inside, he is amazed with the mass destruction. Who wouldn't be amazed with the mass destruction? But, with that happening, Izuku just says, whoa, that's so amazing, grandfather. And his grandfather said, yeah. Now, we're going to do a time skip of, 5 years. Now, Izuku is 15 now, and he's in middle school. Oh, wait, not 15. Oh, what? Screw it. To go into not My Hero Academia, to be in what's called UA, you have to be in college. So, of course, Izuku is 15, but he's in high school, and it's not UA. So, of course, Bakugo is also in high school, and it's not UA, but yeah. Now, of course, they're freshmen and all that, and a bunch of people tried to pick on Izuku when he was in middle school, in high school, and even preschool. But Izuku gave no flying fucks and easily kicked the shit out of almost every person that came towards him. So, of course, this is where Oraka is also in this high school, and when Oraka tries to, use Deku just knocked her lights out. His hands are rated E for everyone. So he doesn't give a fuck if you're a female guy, grandmother, grandfather. He doesn't give a fuck. Unless you're his own family. Unless you're Hiyashi, then he will murder you. He doesn't give a fuck about Hiyashi, his own father. He dipped on him, and Suku has a plan to just murder him. But yeah, Of course, no one actually fucks with Izuku that much because Izuku gives no flying fucks about anyone. He doesn't take shit from anyone. So the teachers try to like fail him for no fucking reason because the teachers are bored and Izuku has no quirks because that's what they all think. And of course, Izuku has found out that he has a quirk. His grandfather was amazed with his quirk. And of course, his grandfather did tell Izuku never to tell his grandmother or his mother about the quirk. So yeah, it was during a firing range, and of course, when they ran out of bullets, they didn't want to go back inside, so they were just looking. And until Izuku kind of just activated his quirk to make more bullets or just make another gun. This was where his grandfather like, okay, so I guess that's your quirk? Turning into, oh, that's very good. Is that the only thing you can create, Izuku? Izuku creates a grenade out of, well, what's called his like arm and all. He just creates a grenade and all. And he says, anything like a flower? He tries to create like a flower and it doesn't work. So, his grandfather says, it must be some kind of amazing quirk. So, of course, the grandfather did take Izuku to what's called a quirk doctor, not your quirk doctor, not the one that what's called Inko decided to bring him. And the quirk doctor says, we're going to name it GUNS. Guns. And, of course, this is where, well, the grandfather says, and that's a very interesting quirk. We're not going to put him on his record because I think they would have just said that's a militant quirk or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Who really cares about the militant quirk? I'm going to say that's a badass quirk to have, Izuku. Yeah. And Izuku smiles like, yeah. But of course, when Izuku is in what's school, he doesn't give a fuck about anyone. So when the teachers did try to like, what's it called? Well, fail Izuku pulls out a gun. He makes a gun and he says, hey, bro, you really want to do this shit? The teacher says, I mean, not really. We good. You pass. So Izuku threatens anyone in his way. Izuku gives no flying fucks. He doesn't have that whole hero spirit or any shit like that. He doesn't give a fuck about anything like that. He just sees, well, his quirk as an amazing quirk to have. Guns. Not to protect people, but to actually fuck up people who actually piss him off. So Izuku doesn't give twice the fucks about anyone. This is basically the what if. Now, we begin into, well, the actual story. Of course, this is where the teacher says, hello everyone, I know all of you want to become heroes. So everyone is 18 now. So Izuku's 18, Bakugo's 18, Araka's 18, who's actually in this class. Also, there'll be some other people that are 18 and, of course, are in this class. Like, what's it called? Kirishima would be 18 and will be in this class. Monoma will be 18 and he'll also be in this class. Of course, Monoma has pissed off Bakugo multiple times. Kirishima is, like, trying to be friends with Bakugo and actually see the side of what Bakugo being a bullying asshole. So, Kirishima will still be his friend and all that because, you know, why the fuck not? Araka will be the girlfriend of what's it called, Bakugo. But of course, this is where we're going to Izuku because no one gives a fuck about those characters. This is where Izuku, when he is in class, he is always he always has headphones, hearing music, giving no fucks about anything. Now Izuku is he's a goddamn genius. He is Shikamaru's level. But, you know, Shikamaru is lazy, so Izuku is also lazy. He doesn't give a fuck about anything like that. So, of course, this is where the teacher says, I know all of you want to become heroes. Everyone is cheering. Monoma is like, yeah, I will become like a fabulous hero. Isn't that right, Izuku? And Izuku is like, you barely talk to me. Why the fuck are you talking to me right now? Monoma says, oh, okay, fine, Izuku. I'll stop talking to you. Of course, this is where the, teacher says, so, we have a lot of people here going to UA. Monoma, I don't remember Monoma's last name, Bakugo, Katsu, Araka, Chako, Kirishima, I don't fucking remember his last name. Also, what's it called? Izuku did not apply to this, so he doesn't give a fuck about that. He says those 5 people will be going to what's called, not 5 people. I also said there was someone else. Did I remember? No, there was only 4 people. So yeah. This is where Izuku just doesn't give a fuck, but those 4 people are going to UA. And of course, this is where people are kind of saying, yeah, they are pretty strong. But they don't understand why Ochaka's going, but since she can only like float things and can't really stop villains. But this is where Bakugo says, shut the fuck up, you all weaklings. You can't talk shit about my, what's called GF and all. This is where Izuku gives no flying fucks and he doesn't care. Now, everyone is kind of shocked that Izuku did not want it to go into UA. Because Izuku is damn pretty skilled, like to taking out easily people. Even disarming someone who had a gun when they were like, what's it called? When everyone was like 16 and all. Izuku disarmed a guy who was trying to shoot up the school and all. Izuku disarmed it so fast that people were happy for that. But of course, I was shocked when Izuku was not going to UA or anything. Now, Izuku really fucked up the guy. Like, he kicked the guy in the head. Like, it's a school shooter and all that. But yeah. Now, of course, everyone is kind of shocked. Of course, Bakugo doesn't give a fuck about anything. And then some people are whispering, isn't Izuku stronger than Bakugo? This is where Bakugo rushes at Izuku because he's angry and his pride just got hit and all that. And Izuku, he dodges the explosion, grabs Bakugo's arm further when Bakugo threw it at the desk. Since Bakugo threw at the desk and all that to try to scare Izuku was pretty in the face. Izuku got up, very gentle, like not gentle, how should I say, gentleman. And instead of like just walking away, being the bigger man, Izuku fucking just axe kick Bakugo straight to the desk. So yeah, Izuku put his like leg up and just axe kick him straight to the fucking desk. Bakugo is knocked the fuck out. So, with that happening, Izuku does not give a fuck about anyone. Now, of course, Araka gets mad and tries to slap at Izuku. Izuku punches her in the face because these hands are rated E for everyone I just said. So, yeah. Now, of course, where Kirishima gets kind of salty about Bakugo getting her, blah, blah, blah. Because Bakugo are kind of friends, blah, blah, blah. Monoma is just watching this and it's just laughing because Bakugo and Araka just got their ass kicked. Kirishima tries to harden his quirk and try to punch at Izuku. Izuku dodges his like punch, pulls out a gun because Izuku can just make guns. Well, what's it called? Everyone knows that Izuku's quirk is guns and all. And Izuku pulls out a fucking gun and shoots at Kirishima's like fucking how should I say, stomach. Missing a lot of vital points, but of course hitting him. And of course Kirishima's bleeding. And of course Kirishima says, that's not very manly of you to do. And Izuku says, who gives a fuck about being manly or anything like that? Izuku pulls his gun right in front of Kirishima's head and says, you know what, I don't give a fuck about being manly. So I will shoot you in the head to see if you would like to be manly to the right into the fucking grave, why don't you? So Kirishima kind of feels sweat. He's sweating. Now, of course, Kirishima in the original canon, he was not brave or anything. He didn't care about manly when he was in middle school. But in this one, he's caring about it because this is somewhat high school. So yeah, also middle school, yeah, there's where he met Ashura and blah blah blah, but whatever. Her name was not Ashura, Mina. I think that's her name. I don't give a fuck. Because Izuku is not going to keep my what's called not my haircut, UA. So yeah, now Izuku does what's it called, makes its gun like disappear and all that, and of course Izuku is walking away. Now of course the teacher ain't gonna do jack shit to mess with Izuku, so he says, okay, bye Izuku. Jesus Christ, that kid is scary. So of course everyone is leaving and everyone's shocked with Izuku's like fucking talent, just fucking beating the hell out of Bakugo, Araka, and Kirishima. Monoma is laughing and all that because he just thinks it's fucking hilarious to see Bakugo, the most explosive fucker out here, should have been the strongest in the whole high school, getting his ass kicked by a guy who can legit make gun quirks and easily disarm someone who had a gun. Now, we're going into a time skip about 10 months. Why? Because Izuku, he actually trained his quirk, but not to go into, well, my hair, oh, not my, blah. Why the hell do I keep saying My Hero Academia? No, into, well, UA. Instead, he is training to go into, well, into find a job or college or whatever. He just trained his quirk, why not? Because his grandfather did die when Izuku was 16. So, of course, Izuku was pretty damn angry. When he disarmed someone, he's kind of happy and all that. somewhat, he didn't really care that much. But when he heard about his grandfather dying, he is angry. He was kind of angry and annoyed a lot. So that's why he doesn't take jack shit to anyone. So that's why he pull out a gun and does not care about shooting anyone in the head or anything. But he didn't shoot at Kirishima because, first of all, he doesn't want to have a track record about killing some kid in fucking high school. So yeah, he is looking for a job. This is where he kind of goes into a sketchy place after 10 months and all. Yeah, because 10 months he did train and all. He kind of met a person, well, not a person, he met a list called Bounty Honey. Basically, Izuku has a mask when he went into the sketchy place anyway. And of course, he does have a hood and all. And of course, he sees this bounty place. Because he has heard of it from a villain kind of talking in the alleyway. So of course, Izuku saw this and it just has a bunch of like pictures of like, how should I say, different bounty numbers on different things. So either they are crime bosses, heroes, someone that just really hates someone, villains. So yeah, you get the point, right? Izuku, he picks one of the bounties out of the paper and all that, out of the board and all that, and he grabs it, and the first bounty that he's gonna take on to make money and bread for the, bread money and all that, for the, what's called house and all that, for his grandmother and what's called his mother, is to be a bounty hunter. Because his grandfather did also mention about those who actually are bounty hunters. Because his grandfather was that of, he wasn't much of a bounty hunter, but his grandfather did serve the war. Well, multiple wars, like for Japan and all that. Again, it's like America or India or whatever. So yeah, Izuku's family actually comes out of, being war veterans. So his great grandfather was serving blah 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 this that. His greatest grandfather did serve in World War II. So yeah, since for My Hero Academia it takes place I think in the way future. I don't remember how far, but yeah. But that's not what I mentioned. So yeah, Izuku, he is being a bounty hunter. Since of course it's not, it is normal in his family. Because even though in Hayashi's side it's just a cracked out house or whatever bullshit. I'm not going to Hayashi's. And Inko's side, basically her family side, besides her sisters, because yes, Inko does have a sister and brother and all, they all work in different things. Either the military, the Navy, Marine, or even being a spy is just normal. Working in that, who has guns and all that. So seeing Izuku have a gun, and seeing Izuku actually kind of having a hood mask and all that, and going to be a bounty hunter, is pretty normal for her. But of course, she's scared of Izuku getting killed or anything. So yeah. So she tried to tell Izuku not to do it, but Izuku did it anyway. Now, we go into the hero he's gonna kill. The first hero he's gonna murder is named... Okay, I don't remember that water hero that was called Ida enrolled with when it was a Stain arc villain whatever, that water hero. Of course Izuku's going after it. He has a sniper ready and he just takes a shot. Boom, his head blasts out. His head just exploded. So yeah, that happened. Now of course Izuku, he's done with the mission and all that, and he asked the person who was putting a bounty on him to see if he can get the money. So of course he gets the money, and no, it's not all for one who actually asked for it. It was some crime boss that kind of asked for kind of Izuku to kill him and all that. Well, put the bounty and all that. But of course Izuku goes and kills, that guy. And Izuku mostly kills heroes, villains, crime boss. He doesn't care. He just takes from the board. So we're going into a couple of months of time. Now, the whole USJ still goes the same, but without Izuku being in it, because Izuku does not give a fuck about that. So Izuku is right now being a bounty hunter, and he made millions, and I mean millions of dollars, killing heroes, villains, crime boss. He doesn't care. He just has to make the money for his like family. So of course Inko is kind of living the life somewhat, and of course this is where his grandmother is also living the life. So of course with that happening, this is where Izuku kind of just gets a bounty call and all that. A call of like his bounty hunt to go kill a special person. So with that happening, this is where Izuku is just going to go kill, well, the number one hero and also the number two, because All For One is the one to call in Izuku to actually go kill them. So Izuku does not mind going to kill what's called All Might or Endeavor, because he never actually looked up to Endeavor or All Might. So of course we're going into the time skip where we're going into Ida still has that whole fight with Stain, but Stain actually murders him. And of course, since what is his name? Todoroki never met Izuku, he would still just have his ice quirk and never use his fire quirk. But when Izuku finally found where Endeavor was, Izuku shot a special bullet. Now this bullet cancels out a quirk and also kind of kills the person if he can actually hit it as a headshot. But that doesn't matter. That's the first thing, and also But this is where Izuku, he shoots the bullet, and of course the bullet goes straight through the air, going through some heroes. Through them, not like actually hitting them or anything. But of course this is where holy shit, my ear popped like 2 times. But that's not what I'm talking about. Now of course this is where Izuku, the bullets kind of just goes through the air, not through the heroes or anything, just through the air. And of course this is where, Endeavor, after killing one of the Nomos, gets hit in the head and boom, his head explodes. So Endeavor's dead. Izuku took a picture, and of course Shigaraki's laughing on it, that he's happy that, the bounty hunter's right now killing the, heroes. Because yes, Izuku was, put to go kill the heroes. Now, of course, with that happening, Shigaraki does not know about the bounty hunter, and Izuku doesn't know about the villains. Now, of course, he doesn't care. He needs the money. He needs to make bread. Now, of course, where Izuku, his name in the bounty hunter and all that, is named his name is the Green Hair God Slayer. Since his hair is green and also dark green, like very dark. It's not that like greenish color like in original canon. His hair is very dark green. So of course his hair is very dark green, and that's what they call him, the Dark Green God Slayer, the Assassinator. So yeah, of course Izuku being able to kill so many high people up there, people are not afraid to really just go out there and try to kill those high people and get that money, like the Green Eye God Slayer. Not Green Eye God Slayer, the Green Hair God Slayer. But yeah, this is where Izuku killed Endeavor, and of course the news was going just in rise and all that, talking about how Endeavor is dead, blah blah blah. Stain also killed a kid named Ida. I don't remember Ida's last name. And one of the Nomos actually also managed to kill, Todoroki. Todoroki tries to freeze the Nomos, but of course, he still kind of went with Endeavor, but of course he didn't care that much. And of course, he still gets killed by one of the Nomos, just getting crushed. So multiple heroes still died at that time. But, also, this is where, All Might found a successor, and that is, Bakugo. Now, Bakugo was with the old man. I forgot his name. But yeah, this is where Izuku does not care. Now, of course, where Izuku goes to the villain place to kind of get his money for Endeavor. And of course, this is where All For One says, you must be the green hair bound and the God Slayer, bounty hunter God Slayer. This is where Izuku says, that's cool and all, but where's my money? This is where All For One says, your money for Endeavor. Well, it's over there in those 2 suitcases. So you're going after All Might now, since that is the other bounty, what's called, the money bounty thing I also asked for. Endeavor and All Might. This is where Izuku says, yeah, I know what to do. And of course, where All For One says, okay, goodbye. And this is where Izuku disappears. Now Shigaraki says, is that very necessary, father? Now Shigaraki would never call All For One father, I meant to say sensei. But yeah, this is where All For One says, yes, that boy is very excellent. If he can kill All Might, then this world would be easier to conquer. Of course, this is where Izuku, even though he's hungry for money and all that, to help with family and all that, he knows to actually kill All For One awesome. But just because he doesn't like All For One or anything, he has that weird 5. But yeah. Now, we go into All Might. All Might is trying to train Bakugo in UA. Because, well, the number 2 hero is dead, so he is trying to train Bakugo as best as he can and all that. So yeah, Bakugo has 25% of, All For One for All. But that's not going to matter when Izuku pops his head off. Well, not pops his head. Mostly, Izuku had a double-barrel sniper rifle. A sniper rifle that has 2 barrels, and of course, 1 scope. Now, Izuku, he has 2 triggers, and of course, those 2 triggers are 2 different sides and all that. And Izuku knows which side he's actually gonna use and all that. There's the right barrel and right barrel and the left barrel and all that. So he sees All Might just training Bakugo, and All Might is just going into the buff form and all that, and right now in his buff form, until he gets a bullet to the head and explodes. That's where Bakugo says, All Might! He gets shot in the heart and dies. Yeah, Izuku really just doesn't like Bakugo and doesn't really care about Bakugo. Now, this is where Izuku says, yes, that reminds me. This is where Izuku grabs a box that's behind him and shapes the box into that of a bomb. A nuclear bomb. This is where Izuku, he has enough muscle power to just grab the nuclear bomb and chuck it into UA. Kaboom! It is all gone. All the heroes, all that is dead. So, of course, when All For One was happy to hear about that, this is where Izuku got his, money and all. But this is where All For One decides to betray Izuku and try to take his quirk. And when he tries to take Izuku's quirk and all that by putting his hand on him, this is where Izuku pulls out a Glock and shoots All For One in the head. This is where Shigaraki gets mad and tries to attack Izuku, but Izuku also pulls his Glock into Spencer and shoots Shigaraki in the head. And of course, Kirigiri tries to attack Izuku, but Izuku changes his Glock into that of a flamethrower, blasting Kirigiri straight to the flames of hell. But since that all happened in such a short amount of time, this is where Izuku says, that's interesting, whatever. So, after getting all the money and all that from All For One Space and all that, after killing them all, and also some of the other villains that were in the base and all that, like Toga, Tabi, and the others, because Izuku says, what is this book? So this book has other people like the villains. So like Overhaul, or Regis Beasto, whatever his name was, and other villains like that. High-ranking, somewhat villains. Now, of course, he did kind of see what's called Muscular, but Muscular wasn't in his muscular form. This is where Izuku has heard of the person that kind of kills heroes for fun and all. And Izuku, he appears right in front of the Muscular and shoots him in the head. Muscular wasn't fast enough to react to that and get shot his head off. So yeah, Izuku is going towards overhaul and the other villains. Now, this is where we're gonna do a 1 year time skip. All the villains and heroes were kinda on edge. Why? Cause, well, the green hair Godsayer is, well, has killed multiple of the top 10 heroes and multiple of, well, the top 10 villains. He has killed almost all of them. A bunch of people that are heroes are kind of scared of being heroes, so they stop having the hero program, and the villain side, well, they stop being villains. Cause if there's a bounty hunter named the Green Eye Godsayer, but the green hair Godsayer, then there's no point in actually going against him because he's a fucking god. But yeah, this is where I'm actually gonna leave it off. Well, not leave it off, but the end. Now, I just wanted to make this what if as a one shot, not really as a movie or anything. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, potato. I'm very tired. And yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. So, potato, potato, potato.